What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer and amazing filthy casual shirt, Nick Scarpino. Now, I'm going to invite, we just did the pre-show, Nick.
Yeah, it was
As
great,
you know,
yeah.
you can get it if you watch live on patreon.com/kindafunny. You can get it later as the part of the big video that goes up early on Fridays.
One big video.
There we
full
played a
of bad
game.
bitches.
Is it a bruise or a hickey on Nick's head? Is there an answer? You'll have to find out in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Over here, the verified
a bruise.
30 under 30 winner, Tim Gettys.
Let's him house.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah?
good. A lot of Star Wars prequel talk in the pre-show.
Yeah, that's what the kids love. You know
They
what I
do.
mean? We had some visual aids. We
Did
watched
you know
an
that
Aquaman
Rose
trailer.
Byrne was in the prequels?
Do you know who Rose Byrne is? I
Yeah,
doubt it.
Everyone does.
Really?
She's pretty big now, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
in
You said,
everything.
"Oh, the neighbor's wife." I'm like, "Oh, got her."
Yeah, she's just been in
Moira
everything.
McTaggart or whatever.
yeah.
Moira
Moira.
McTaggart. It's
She's
one
in
of
that new movie with Mark Wahlberg about I thought they had like adopt
Instant
3 kids.
Family.
Yeah, which is actually based on a true story. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
It looks very bad.
Yeah, I know. But I heard the director on he was on a podcast and he was talking about that because he cast Tom Segura. And he was like, yeah, we actually did that. Like we were looking to adopt kids and they come as a family. Like you can't break up 3 sisters. So they have, I guess, they have a son and 2 sisters.
Well, have you seen this documentary from, I want to say it's A24, about the triplets who were separated at birth and didn't know about each other?
I saw, yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
I want to get the name of it.
And they like raised them separately, and like they're like people are like studying them, right, to see
Yeah.
if it's nature versus nurture.
Yeah. So it's really fat. Hey, do you know this story?
No.
Okay,
It's
hold on.
fucking crazy.
I did finish
Didn't they do it like on
watching it.
purpose?
Hold on, you're ruining the whole thing. I want to get
I'm
to it.
gonna
Yeah.
just pet your
Don't.
dog.
Okay, that's fine. Portillo's in my lap. If you didn't know,
Do you ever look at him and say
3
he's-
identical
Is he
strangers.
alive?
You ever look at him and say he's like a little mini lion? Little mini lion.
I do.
No.
I do look
In
at
the
him and think he's a
safari.
mini little lion. Yeah, totally.
worked
totally.
hard.
He's a
I've
mini
never
wolf.
seen him this
He's dead.
melty looking.
It's
He's
probably
old down. That's what he does.
It's part of the
You know what I
smoke.
mean? It probably is the smoke. Kevin
He
had
probably
it
can't deal
open
with
in
it.
here. He's fucking eating hot Cheetos. He's trying to.
Kevin's like, I'm so hot. Open up all the windows and definitely put more layers on me. I'm so hot right now.
I love
Please
that
put a
his hoodie,
sweatshirt
though,
on me.
Has a built-in scarf. Like it just builds around him.
So the movie,
Yeah.
3 Identical Strangers.
Yeah.
Watched it on the plane, of course. That's where I watch all my movies. I saw it for a long time in Alamo. When we go there, it'd be one of the ones that, like,
Yeah.
hey, so you know nothing about it. I'm asking.
Nothing
you
about
know
it.
nothing about it. So yeah, this guy goes to college. And like as he's walking in, everybody's like, "Oh, hey!" Like they like acting like they're like, "This is a really friendly college or whatever." And finally, like, and like a girl kisses him.
This is a true story, right?
It's all true story. Yeah. And eventually, like he's like moved into his room, and another guy comes like tearing into the room and throws on the door, or knocks on the door, or whatever. And he turns around, and he's like, "Holy shit, you do look just like him, but I know you're not him because it's like my friend, whatever his name was isn't coming back to school this year." And so they run to a phone booth and call, and he's like, and he's adopted. Are you adopted? Well, and they figure out that yeah, they're identical twin brothers, right? And like they're all over the newspaper. All this other shit's happening. Like this is like in the 80s or 70s even. So it's like a big deal. It's like something crazy's happening, and it's just not us getting killed by the Russians. Then it turns out there's another one who
Simpler
sees
time.
it, and
It
it's
was a
like,
simpler time back
Yeah.
then.
what
in
the
80s.
fuck? It was triplets after all. You know what I mean? And so then the parents are like start to investigate and like go to the adoption agency. They're just like what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? And the adoption agency gives them some fucking line about just like triplets are hard to put into a house or whatever. So like we had, we couldn't put them all together. And nobody would take them. And one of the fathers is like I would have fucking taken them. I would, are you kidding me? Yada, yada, yada. And so they leave. And one of them forgot their umbrella and goes back and comes back to find them like popping champagne. Like they just dodged a huge bullet. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And it turns out this is all true. This adoption agency was working with this research study about nature versus nurture, where they were taking triplets and twins and purposefully breaking them up in adopted homes.
Just to see how they'd turn out.
Holy
and then,
shit.
Isn't that
and then,
fucked up?
and then the people who were doing the study were sending agents or TAs or whatever to go interview all the kids and like talk to them for years. Like till like I think it was like 10 or 12 or till the thing got defunct for some reason. But for
I wonder why.
for forever. Yeah, exactly. But like, it is that fucked. Like you talk to the like all of the twins and triplets interviewed, right, have like issues, right? Because there is this like bond, right? And they know something's missing, but they don't know why, so they all have like a whole bunch of a range of issues. Isn't that weird? Yeah, totally.
It's fucked up.
And like, cause like they're like slamming their head. It's like babies like slamming their heads into the crib and stuff because they just know something's wrong and they can't figure out. But like one of the, I'm spoiling this movie, but you should watch it anyway.
No, it's fine.
One of the triplets like kills himself or whatever.
Holy shit.
So it's like they're talking about the fact of like, to think about how things had gone wrong for them and how they needed each other but weren't there, to think about the fact that these researchers literally did it all in a day. So it would be that they would go to like one of their houses and then drive the hour to the other kids' houses, then drive to the other kid. You know what I mean? It's like at any point you could have said anything to anybody, and they never did. It's like
I feel like that should
fucking
be
crazy.
mildly criminal.
Yeah. And then,
I'm sure it is, right?
I mean,
they talked to one of the guy who was in charge of the study is dead now, and like one of his assistants is still alive, and they interview her, and she's still very scientific about it, of just like, like, I understand why people would think we're monsters, but this was like groundbreaking research and yada yada yada. But the records on the thing are still sealed.
Why?
So like
That's so
there's still like
fascinating.
other triplets and twins out there that just don't know that they had this other.
because like I'll be honest with you, like taking the emotions out of it.
Yeah.
I would be fascinated to see what the results are of that. Like
Sure.
absolutely, because that actually like if. There's no way to have done that with people's consent.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't ask babies like you guys are
baby, what do you want?
growing out from your three
Yeah.
brothers. But it is probably the only way to figure out like if that is.
I think we figured it out.
No, what I mean,
It's like, that's true. But do we need to know?
no, not necessarily. And I mean, if I were the person like approving funding for studies like this, I'd be like, guys, this is
Hey,
this is so
interesting
far
argument.
beyond.
Interesting argument. Don't know if we need to ruin lives.
Yeah, probably not worth ruining like a whole generation of
Hold on
twins.
now.
and
Hold on now,
triplets'
Joester.
lives.
You ran in here all excited. Sit down there and tell me what's going on. What's happening?
Oh, I was listening to the show and I didn't know that you had Portillo.
Oh yeah, there he is. Look at him.
He is right here.
Old floppy dog.
No, I've said
Look
this
at-
before. I'll say it again.
Look how
Cool Greg
cute.
Raxum.
There it is. Nailed it.
nah. Cool Greg's
I've
like
said this
that.
before. I'll say it again. I know that he is a little bit of a handful these days, but why do you not bring him?
He's not
to
a
me?
handful.
Why don't you bring him in more?
It's well, I don't know if you know this about me. If you've ever seen me at work,
Yeah.
I like to be focused on work.
Yeah, but
and so I
he's-
don't like to be.
But I don't know if you know this about me or not. I don't like to be focused on
I
work.
have
I like
noticed that.
distractions and I
Yeah.
like small animals.
Yeah.
And Joe, back me up here. Mm-hmm. You like both those things too, right?
I mean, I like the small animals. I don't love
You
distractions.
love when Kevin or Andy or me
Love
comes
when you
over
come up to my desk.
and just screws with you the entire
Yeah,
week,
it's
right?
great.
Yeah, that's super fun.
It's Nick.
I don't mind. It's not having a car, a little part of it, but it's more the fact that I don't want him getting into stuff. I don't want him getting stepped on.
Make Kevin watch him. It's fine.
He will get stepped on.
Yeah.
No.
Kevin
Well,
will step
Kevin
on
will
him.
run on him, yeah,
Yeah.
but Kevin hasn't broken anything yet or fallen down yet.
That you know of.
That we know
He's
of.
fallen down, I think, right?
I'm sure he
We're gonna
has.
say that he's fallen down for
Not
sure.
in this office. I don't
No,
think.
I mean I have filmic evidence of him falling down in a foot race.
Yeah.
but that's to be
That
expected.
is true.
You know what? I find myself once in a while thinking about it, and it wouldn't have sucked because we are kind of funny and that's who we are. I really wish that one day during the games cast, Jared did go through the wall. I don't know if you heard of this. Jared got he was on the paneling, his foot got caught in the mic's thing, and I was just
Excellent.
like, that would have been awesome.
Jared also, you guys,
And he just takes down the thing.
during Extra Life, you broke the stool. Someone broke the stool, and
Yeah.
then
Well, again, the stool is really just a little table.
Yeah,
that
it's
we
a
were
small
using
table.
as a stool that was
Not
not,
a
meant to
stool,
support a man.
but so-
destroying at Monopoly.
somebody
Everyone knows your center of gravity gets heavier as you fucking own people at Ghostbusters.
Well, you
Monopoly.
get more, you accumulate more real estate.
Exactly.
So that makes you heavier and more denser. No, what was hilarious though, you broke it. And then did the one thing that you should never do with a broken chair. You set it back up to look like it was a normal, like it was totally fine, and just walked away. Didn't do it. And of course, Jared, who of course is Jared, was the perfect person to sit on that and just collapsed into it. And I'm like, he really hurt himself. And he was like,
Jared,
no, I'm
you can't
fine.
hurt Jared.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
only emotionally.
Fair.
He can't
Fair
hurt him
point.
physically.
Fair point.
He's like Metallo.
Yeah.
Remember this classic Superman the Animated
I
Series
don't,
episode?
yeah.
Joey, sit down. You got to hear about this. You remember this too.
Joey,
Metallo?
you don't have to hear about
You remember
this.
Metallo?
You're fine, Joey.
Remember-
Can
Because
you
it was-
tweet the thing that I need you to tweet? Thank you.
Did you see my Slack message?
Did
cool.
you
Can-
is there some sort of snack you could bring me?
Hey, when you're done with all that, we need you to watch Superman the Animated Series, where the origin of Metallo. Because remember, he kisses Lois, and he's like, I can't feel anything. And Lex is like, oh yeah, you have to make those changes. And he's like, me. And he tears off his skin. It's like, fuck, Metallo, you're awesome.
You guys
Metallo's a
all
great
slacked
enemy.
me with YouTube, plus Andy slacked me within 30 seconds about 3 different things. I was like,
Hey, can you
what
do
is
everything?
going on?
Yeah, it's a whole
Anyways.
thing. I want to talk to you guys about something.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 3, and a Portillo. Best friends. I don't want to pound around his head. Best friends. Gather. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Porty. I didn't mean to disturb you. Oh, no. Gather on this table, each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early as watching it right now as we record it live. If any of us slip up and say something horrible about Joey, you'll see it before she gets a chance to edit it out. You look great today, Joey.
Thanks.
You're welcome. If you can also get it on Friday as a big video, big MP3. The big video and has the pre and post show just like the live shit does. If you don't want to give us any money, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny or podcast services the following Friday where you can get each and every episode absolutely free. Today, the Patreon producer, of course, is DJ Kento. Thank you,
DJ Kento,
for your support, your service,
and your good looks.
Your good looks. We see you everywhere. I see them all over there doing stuff. DJ Kentoing it up.
Using that colored light.
And now that I've played
pictures.
3 or 4 hours of Pokemon, I understand his name. DJ Kento, the Kento region, where the rat and the bird thing come from.
Kanto.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk quickly
Sure.
about Avengers 4.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
So here's the thing.
We're recording this
the
Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
November 20th, right? Rumors are that the trailer will be released November 28th.
Ooh, dear.
But this episode is going live publicly to everyone December 6th or something like
Right.
that.
It's the day before, the day before the showcase.
So everything we say here is we're going to look like idiots.
Yeah, of
it's going
course.
to be absolutely
well,
wrong.
that's always.
That's fine. I'm just, I like putting myself out there in those hard positions because, then I get to look at myself later and be like, you were a fucking idiot.
Hey, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Whatever. We're spitballing
What do you want to
here.
do? What do you want to do?
There's rumors, though, that to me, they're too good to be true. Like, I don't see them doing this. But the rumors are that it won't be one trailer they release. That instead, they're going to release multiple trailers that are not the Avengers 4 trailer. They're still not going to release the name of the movie yet. But it'll just going to be teasing the Untitled Avengers movie. And they're going to be remakes or recuts of a bunch of classic MCU trailers with differences based on the rumored time paradox shit that
That's
Avengers
cool.
4 is going to
That'd be so
introduce.
cool.
So and again, this all sounds like, all right, whatever.
But
this
remember,
sounds all
this is
fucking
Marvel.
amazing.
And this is Marvel, and they would do this.
What I'm saying is whatever in the sense of this is way too good to be true.
Okay,
Like, this is
okay.
way too detailed
Okay.
of this is what's going to happen. But yes, it'd be fucking
But
awesome.
it's
And
Marvel.
Marvel
Why do you
could
talk
pull it
like
off.
Pull it off.
he talks like the WB Frog.
I like
That's
it.
what's gonna
I like
happen.
it. He's like, hello.
Great show. We don't ever
But one of the rumors is
Maybe
it'll
I
be
heard
like
of
the
this
original Avengers trailer, and then when it ends on the iconic circle
Yeah.
shot,
It's
Giant
different
Man's
people.
there.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like it goes, and then you see Ant-Man turn into Giant Man behind him.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And just a bunch of random things like that. But how off the wall would that be,
Dude, I'm so fucking far in on that I would even go as far as to say, throw it all out the window, start with Iron Man, and just fucking retcon the entire thing. Let's start over, baby. Let's go
Captain
20
Marvel,
more
yeah.
fucking movies and go.
I think they're planning on doing a bunch of different trailers based the original Iron Man trailer was one that they were talking about.
God, that'd
Where
be
is this
so
leaking from?
fucking cool.
This is all just some dudes on Twitter that
Gotcha.
Like
their
imagine
credibility all
Questionable.
over the place.
Questionable.
Like,
they've gotten
imagine-
some things right, they get a lot wrong.
it's impossible to do, but imagine if they were able to do that. That'd be fucking amazing.
July the
Not
28th?
just the trailers, but go back and do Iron Man trailer with a different actor, whoever's going to take over for RDJ, and
yeah?
that's where we go from there. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like it's whoever the next Iron Man's going to be. It's that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
what-
that.
No,
it's
I
that-
think you're getting too far ahead there. That's not how
It wouldn't be like that.
I know that, but I'm saying imagine if that was their grand plan. Was eventually once that happens, everything gets retconned.
Like,
and then it's just
craziness.
it is start over. It's the fucking caravan going through the sand, and it's like
Throw up the gang signs. No gang signs.
Right, and it cuts the backseat, and it's not RDJ. It's
Yeah.
whoever the new Iron Man's going to be.
Yeah,
It's a totally different
I don't
story.
think there's going to be a new
No.
Iron Man like that. But
That'd be fucking amazing. Though.
cool, though.
The reason that November 28th is being brought up is the official prequel or prelude or whatever, the March to Avengers 4 comic book comes out
Oh, okay.
on December 4th.
Is that
Or
actual?
December 6th, something like that. And every time that the prequel comic comes out, the trailer is usually released a week before.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So it's exciting times.
Hell yeah!
we're
I
getting
can't believe we
close.
know nothing.
We know nothing, and I hope that either
May?
they do this. Yes.
Okay.
Right now, but I have a feeling it'll be bumped to
April again. Birthday present for me again.
I just love that this might be the first time ever that they don't really put. What if there was no new trailer and it was all just
they
old
don't
footage?
need to. They don't need
Oh,
to.
it'd be amazing.
They could do trailers that are all just tugging on that nostalgia heartstring. Everyone's gonna see this fucking movie anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all gonna see it.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if they never showed anything new.
Anything.
They just
Anything.
it was just old footage. It was this we've talked about it before of it's news reports or whatever. Or not even because there's supposed to be maybe a time jump, right? It's been years since the snap, right? So it's the 5th anniversary. We're commemorating all these people we lost, kind of thing. And then it's just ding It's all the old footage of that shit, and then just a
Retrospective
release
stuff,
date in a.
They got 18
put out
movies of footage.
they'll put out new trailers.
They will.
They
Of
course
have
they
to.
will.
They have to. They got to get people hyped for this. This is gonna happen.
I'm hyped,
But
Nick.
in
I am hyped
I
right
would
now.
love to be in a world where you could flip a switch though and be media blackout to it and be like, where I'm not watching anything new, I'm not seeing any new images, nothing on the side of a fucking cup, nothing. Just go into
Nothing
this
on the side of a
completely
cup.
dark and be like, wow me, surprise me, come at me, you know? That'd be amazing. Come on.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Speaking of getting nuts, Gregway, tomorrow for people watching on YouTube.com/kindafunny or listening on podcast services around the globe, we're doing something called the Kinda Funny Game Showcase.
Yeah, boy.
We said, what do you want to talk about? And today Nick said, let's talk about the showcase, doggy dog.
You guys have been putting a lot of work into this. You have been burning the candle at both ends.
Sure.
I'm seeing you get in early. I'm seeing you got 5,000 emails to comb
correct,
through.
yeah.
Every 5 seconds, you stop and you go, I can't believe this is actually working. I can't believe people are responding to this. I'm getting trailer assets. We're getting like exclusives, things like that.
Yeah.
Super fun stuff.
We got a whole bunch of new stuff today.
How do you feel the process is going so far? Are you like, when you thought this idea through?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is we never really think anything really
Sure.
through. We just kind of go, that'd be fun. And when we put it out there,
We're
then we
gonna
have
do
to
this
back
thing.
into it.
Cool.
When you imagined this concept between the span of potentially knowing that PSX wasn't happening and us doing something, how is that to what it is now?
The Kinda Funny Games Showcase is the cancer of
Okay.
Kinda Funny Games. In the way of, I was so naive about my cancer. I got cancer and I was like, oh, cool. I'll get to play Vita during chemo.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Totally underestimated how hard that was going to be.
Yeah.
I have drastically underestimated how tough the showcase was going to
I
be.
respect how
And not-
hard you're rocking this mic, by the way.
I got a dog in my
You
lap,
are
man.
just.
I got the
You
dog
like
in the
this?
lap.
I like this little thing.
Yeah, this
yeah,
is
you know what I
how
mean?
is it? Can
This
I-
is my new way.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
my new way of
doggy
holding
dog.
it.
Look at that. That's good.
Right?
That
And it feels good too.
For
Yeah.
people that don't know, what is the Kinda Funny Game Showcase? Because a lot of people on Kinda Funny don't watch Kinda Funny
Sure,
games.
that's weird, right?
It's true, though.
We've had so many people who are like, "Oh man, I listen to the GameOverGreggy show all the time. I didn't know you guys did games content," and then vice versa. I'm just like, "Wow, that's really weird."
We
To
should,
be clear, before
probably
we
start running ads for both channels on all of our stuff.
yeah, we should. We're not good at anything.
No.
To be clear, I will jump into that. Again, it was the naivete of the cancer thing. It was kind of a Greg joke that I was going to work on more of that.
Sure.
Just making sure nobody thinks it's bad. The showcase is
Gotcha,
amazing.
gotcha,
I
okay.
just drastically underestimated it the same
You
way I underestimated
you
cancer.
did start off with saying this is the cancer of Kinda Funny Games,
I know.
which not normally a positive
But
thing.
then I did the Greg Miller thing when I brought it back around.
Yeah, you brought it back around.
But I just wanted to make sure we
I understand.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, there was a show called PSX, and it was amazing. PlayStation experience. Everybody loved it year after year. You go to Vegas, you go to Anaheim.
Wasn't it always
one
just
wonderful
sort of
year? We was
like-
here in San Francisco.
Wasn't it always sort of like, are they going to do it every year?
Yeah, oh yeah. Every year,
was always
every
contentious,
year,
right?
it seemed,
Like-
with the exception of the first year where hey, we're doing this thing nobody's heard of. We're like, oh, that's really cool, a fan event, neat. Every year since then has always been like, man, does PlayStation know what they're doing? Feels like they don't. They just.
But it's like it's that, and then Microsoft was like, "We'll dig out EXO out of the."
That's this year, and that's superfluous to this
Okay,
conversation.
got it.
Yeah, PlayStation in general though usually runs down to the wire of, are they actually doing this? When are they going to announce it? When do tickets go on sale? People start asking us. We either know or don't know and can't say in either way probably. This year, yeah, it was running down to the wire again of people being like, what is going on with PSX? And what I love about PSX, right, other than the fact that it's a PlayStation show, and I'm a PlayStation reporter, I know it so well as my beat. It's a great time every year of people coming together in the wake of Jeff Keighley's Video Game Awards, because the Game Awards happen on Thursday. PSX kicks off traditionally on Saturday. It was
Right.
Friday last year.
Game Awards being kind of a celebration for the entire year's worth of gaming, right?
Game Awards
That's
being
kind of what you guys would look forward to for PSX too, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. What I love about Game Awards into PSX is the fact that it's celebrating the industry.
Yeah.
What I love about Game Awards is, hey, here's everything that's amazing from the past year, along with here are the AAA announcements. Here are the huge games you didn't know we were going to have stuff on. Here's a new trailer for Last of Us. Jeff Keighley going out there, busting his ass. You know what I mean? And you want to talk about, like, I've always respected the man. You want to talk about having 20,000 times more respect putting together our goofy showcase and then imagining what it's like to do it live and to do it with a live audience and to do it with moving parts and to do it with AAA people, because guess who?
Amigos.
We do it with the Amigos. Are they on the part of this thing?
They were last year.
Okay, I don't. Okay, well, Churches is who I always think of when I think of
they're too.
Yeah, okay. But to do it with AAA people, because that's the other thing. We'll get to the showcase and a little bit better explanation of it. But showcase is more indies, smaller studios, trying to shine the light on them, right? The people who have been the hardest to work with for the showcase are, and this isn't in a bad way, is the bigger you get. The bigger the company gets, the more approvals there are, the harder it is to get the asset. So then imagine what it's like for Jeff to sit there and have to run through this with live orchestras or whatever the hell he's doing at Game Awards. It's insane. I digress. Game Awards is AAA, I always feel like, and then PSX would come in and be like, hey, here's Gio Corsi, here's Shuhei Yoshida, here are these personalities that are coming up, and yes, you're getting plenty of first-party big stuff, but more importantly, you're getting the chance for Gio to be like, and it's coming to Vita, and it's coming to Vita. Like, the PlayStation stopped talking a long time ago about Vita at E3, PSX became that kind of thing, and I thought that doing that at a fan event set the tenor right, where it is that Supermassive is going to do an on-stage playthrough of Until Dawn, right, where we all scream out answers and stuff, and it was like, that was cool. It's cool to see indies get up there. You know what I mean? You think about like Lara Croft Go, right, got announced in release day and date on the PSX stage, right? That's a small game that wouldn't get the time of day at Game Awards. It wouldn't get a time of day at E3 probably, but at PSX, that's where it's allowed to shine. So
It would have got it at Game Awards. I feel like Game Awards has turned into something bigger than it used to be. Like it took, I would say, 5 years for Game Awards to become this.
You're talking
thing
about the old, okay.
Where I mean, even Jeff Keighley's Game Awards for the last. This is the fifth one, right? I think it's the fifth one. Looking from the first one to this, it's like now people are expecting Metroid Prime.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas a couple years ago, people expected
fair
a new character in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Fair point.
You know what I mean?
No, don't be talking shit about Cranky Kong now. Come on.
There's a lot of shit to talk about Cranky Kong.
What are you talking
and
about,
I
man?
will
He was
any day of my
cranky.
life.
He was cranky. Anyways, yeah, the way it's been set up traditionally, giant spotlight for AAA stuff, and like, you know, the industry luminaries in LA at LA Live for this. PSX being, hey, we're Drinkbox. Hey, we're another small studio. We're out here. We're all indies. We're doing this cool shit. Let's thrive. Let's have booths. Let's, you know, share what we're doing. This year, PlayStation is not doing a PSX. And so,
Do we just to back up? Is that just because like we just don't want to throw the effort into it, or like do we have any understanding of
the
why
official
they don't wanna
line
do
from
that?
them was like, we've had a huge year with Spider-Man, with God of War, with
Like, we're good.
Detroit.
We
Like,
crushed it.
We can't show something all the time, and we don't think we'd put on a show that would live up to the hype that it would have.
That's fascinating.
Which is something I think we saw last year, right? Where it was, hey, we're gonna do PSX differently. We're gonna do E3
Here's
differently.
Medieval, and everyone's like,
Man, here's Greg to talk to people for an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's an expectation set, and similar to how we're talking about Game Awards' expectation now. There's an expectation set for PSX, and so PlayStation, I'm assuming reading the tea leaves last year into this year and seeing what they would have, what they could have ready, and then thinking about what we could lean harder on our third-party partners, our smaller studios. That's no longer what people think of for PSX in a way, even, right? Like, they do think about, oh man, Final Fantasy is going to have something new. We're going to do this kind of giant announcement. And so they decided not to. I had heard rumors from trusted industry sources a while before any official announcement that there was going to be no PSX this year. And I would say but when we were talking about timetables of not having heard anything at like this point, I was like, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look like it's really going to happen. And then I had heard
which, to be fair, is exactly how it felt like last year.
Sure, exactly.
And then it ended up happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, that's how it's felt like for the past couple of years, which are like there's radio
but like
silence, and then
they were running
we
up like you know, it's you can get into like nitty gritty date stuff, but they had run past one of the other dates, but hadn't hit the latest time they've ever announced it. But at this point, I think I was reaching out to my sources, and I had from a source I trust a confirmation that there was no PSX. Mr. PlayStation.
I love him. Great
so
guy.
It was that, okay, this really isn't happening, and I probably had maybe a week's heads up, not knowing when it was going to get announced, but maybe a week or two head up, like it's not going to happen. And I think it was when I was in London, I was sitting there thinking when Jen and I were out at a pub probably, and just this idea of like, well, what if we did it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like the idea. I don't want that to end. I love the fact that it goes Thursday into Saturday into Sunday for a real PSX, right? Of like the celebration and community and everyone's eyes on 1 week of December, right? And it is that great end cap, I feel, of both the Game Awards. Game Awards celebrates what's come this year and then also gets you hyped for what comes next year. And PlayStation Experience does the same thing on a smaller level, but like in terms of like, hey, there's a lot of cool shit happening, and gives a platform to people who don't get the Game Awards platform because Jeff's trying to make a tight show that's awesome and amazing. And so I started kicking around the idea of like, well, what if we did our own thing? And I was with Jen and I was like, hey, what if this happened? If there's no PSX, and what would you think about us doing a thing? Because Jen's my bullshit detector. She's in the industry. She knows the industry. If I have a lot of dumb ideas, she'll tell me when they're dumb.
Sure.
And she was like, that's a brilliant idea. And I was like, really? Like, she was way into it more into it than I was. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you don't understand right now. Like, if there is no PSX, there are so many people right now working on assets, hoping that they're going to get the call to be a part of a PSX. Like, they've learned, especially small studios, have learned that
Keep something ready.
There's no warning. PlayStation's going to come to you. You have to deliver. She's like, people are going to have somewhere to go with this stuff.
That's great.
And I was like, all right, cool. And so then we came in here, and it was at the first weekly meeting back. So it was London. And I was like, hey, at the end of it, I was like, I have this idea of like, I think that I've heard there's not going to be a PSX. If there's not going to be PSX, I think we should do our own press conference. And you lit up immediately, Tim.
Hell yeah, baby.
You were like,
go.
that's fucking
Let's bring
awesome.
the hype.
Right?
Our own press conference?
Yeah.
We're not qualified. Let's do
At
it.
all. No idea. No, in no way, shape, or form are we qualified.
Well, but yes, but again, I think when you guys pitched it to me as like a press conference, I was like, I don't get that. I don't understand that. And then you were like, well, it's not going to be more like a press conference. It's more going to be a celebration of games, more in line with sort of a Nintendo Direct style thing where we're just kind of like putting together a really tight, I don't know how long this is going to end up being, but hour to 2 hour long, putting it out there so it really celebrates all these different unique indie titles and maybe some other stuff, who knows. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Right. Yeah. Oh, and I'm like, because the idea of us going out on stage and being like, doing that presentational style, I couldn't understand necessarily, because I'm like, that makes sense for PlayStation to talk about PlayStation properties. Yeah. But for us to go out there and talk about other people's properties, it seems weird. But now that we're making it kind of more our own, which is like, we're gonna make a giant video out of it, with graphics and like, presumably some on-camera hosting by you guys, which I know we're gonna do, but I haven't quite got to filming yet. That makes more sense.
It wouldn't be kind of funny if it was done ahead of time.
Well,
we need the fire. We need Tim taking the Keurig home. When he takes the Keurig home to
I'll never forget that. I'm like, what the fuck happened to the Keurig?
Oh,
Tim came and took it home.
I was like, what happened? No,
can we just give him another one?
That's what's funny about this event itself.
We
and
make
how
money on Patreon.
Yeah, it differs from Kind of Funny Live, where it's like Kind of Funny Live, so much of it was...
This is a way different beast.
It's way different. Where it's like, it was us on the back end a lot, and then it was me at some point taking it and just being like, all right, I'm going to live in a dark room for 2 weeks getting this whole thing
cut video
done.
packages over and over again.
Whereas with this, it's a bit more like, it's way more on you for pre-production of you planning everything.
Right.
And then there was that point where it's like, it's kind of the opposite of Kind of Funny Live. It hit a point where you brought me into your world. Yeah. And then it was like, okay, let's look at this and actually come up with a run of show based on our knowledge of the industry and us watching press conferences and enjoying them for the last 10 years.
Based on the assets that people are providing for us, right?
So let's dial it back, because we're still doing this chronologically, right? So we do the meeting. You guys are into it too. And it's the classic thing of Kind of Funny, which is why this is awesome that it times out so well with you winning 30 under 30, Tim. Because it is that I had the idea. I had no vision for the idea. I had the raw idea of let's do a conference. And to me, it was like, we'll do it on green and I'll be in a suit and we'll get a jib for the room or something. And I was like, that doesn't sound right, but I know you guys will figure it out in terms of what it would be, right? And so I brought that to you, and immediately we start percolating on the ideas, but we're all in. And so then the idea became, cool, now we have to be in hawk mode. Because as soon as something happens, as soon as Sean Layden tweets he's not doing this, I want to respond, and I want to be there to say, we're doing it, we'll do it, and then figure it out from there. I wanted, because I know it sounds goofy at this point, because I don't know if anybody else ever did. To me, after I had the idea, I was like, this is so good, this is such a great idea, that other people have to be thinking about
There's
it.
no way.
I think an IGN, a GameSpot,
no
somebody
way.
else.
No way
to.
IGN's like, you know what we'd love to do mid-December? A giant project instead of letting all of our people have 2 weeks break.
Fair. But I mean,
IGN, this does sound, if you said, hey, IGN's doing this, I'm like, that makes sense, right? If they're going to go out there and make a cool show to really celebrate games, I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense. They're a major media outlet.
It's been, heartening. We'll get to the response from developers, but heartening from our peers. The amount of people who have talked to me about it and been like, it's so cool that you're doing this, and also you're the only person who could do this.
Yep.
Of like, nobody else has contacts like you do. Nobody else knows this. Nobody else, is trusted enough. Because, like, keep in mind, we're dealing with, again, multi-million-dollar companies that are sending, like, and then, of course, indies and all these different things, but are sending us assets, including us way early on shit that I shouldn't be included on and being talked, you know what I mean? Like, and trusting us not to fuck them over. Not that we would, but again.
No, but you skate, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You skate the line of being sort of like, you're in a weird nebulous area where you still have a lot of that journalistic integrity. You still have a lot of those old school that old school esteem in the industry, but you're also an entertainer. You're also a personality. You're like you've risen to the cream of the crop of games personalities.
You're like a video game triple threat.
Yeah,
That's what they
Except
call
you
me.
don't make games though.
I could though.
You could.
I couldn't.
You could.
you could. And
So
I'm waiting. By the way, I'm waiting for that fucking that shoot and
Morning
drop
meeting.
where it's just like, hey guys, I got this great idea for a game. Like, cool. Now we have to figure out how to make a game.
We
It'll be
tried
fine.
once.
We'll do it.
So yeah, that was the idea, and it was like, and then just a holding pattern of like, well, who knows when it's gonna happen, blah 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 blah. And then it was a morning show. Me and Nick were on, and while we were on the morning show, the chat started popping off that on the blogcast, Sean had said there's no PSX this year. And so I immediately dropped out of Nick. I just stopped listening to Nick and started working on tweets and trying to do it. Had the tweet drafted that I wanted. Went to tweet it. It crashed. So I lost the tweet. Then you came in. You're like, hey. I'm like, I know. I'm on it. And put it out there that, hey, we're doing, there's no PSX this year. And we don't think that this should stop. And we will do it ourselves. So if you're a developer, do this. Followed it by, yes, I'm serious. Because that is the thing, is it sounds like a stupid thing. Because this is also in like the height of shirtless Spider-Man and all this other crap we were doing on Twitter. And it's like,
well, that's classic kind of funny. It
Sure.
is
That's us,
always everything at once. It is super serious. We're professionals, but it's also we're fucking idiots doing dumb things. And then it's
Yeah.
also, hey, we're doing dumb things really professionally. Like there's 3 tracks that are all very different. There's a little bit of overlap here and there, but
It's weird and it
then
shouldn't work, but it does.
In classic us fashion, that tweet ended up being extremely misleading because we used the GIF of Kind of Funny Live 3.
Yep.
So everyone thought, oh, they're doing another live show. This is in their wheelhouse. This is something that, like, where can I buy tickets? And it's like, oh, fuck, we fucked up.
It was
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
one of those things. But again,
well, I mean,
think-
that was an easy enough message to rein in. And like, I think also people want to be surprised with what it is. And since then, we've been good with messaging of what it is. And I've talked about it on Games Daily and Gamescast, and I popped up on the Game Informer podcast via written form when they were talking about it. I've done it on GameSpot now and IGN. Like I've made the rounds the best I can. But in the moment, right? Fired off the tweet. Yes, I'm serious. Went back between morning show and Games Daily to the desk. Fired off 2 emails. First and foremost to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Where it was like, hey, I've learned through our years that usually what happens when I do something stupid like this is
You gotta
I
get
don't
mad.
I don't say anything to you, and then I have a conversation with you guys later where you thought you read into my tone in the wrong way.
toes are being stepped on.
This
so to
is
speak.
not me making fun of you. That was the biggest thing for me. Is like, this is not, again, it's shirtless Spider-Man. It's all this different stuff. We walk this cool line. This is not me saying you guys couldn't do it, so I'm grabbing the Infinity Gauntlet. I'll do it myself kind of thing. It's me saying we're gonna hold the torch for you for a year. When you come back, whenever you come back, it'll be there for you. I'm not gonna. This is, you know what I mean. Blah blah. To which they were like, great. And the second one was Jeff Keighley.
They're like, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. See you later.
There's a reason
sucker.
we're not doing this.
And the second was to Jeff of just like, hey, again, this isn't me saying I'm usurping the Game Awards. This is totally different. This is a smaller thing. This is you do you. I will send if anybody ever tries to pit us against each other, go to Jeff. He's the real show kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, then we went and did Games Daily, and then I came back and my Twitter was flooded. My this is right after, I think a couple days before, or maybe even that day, I put my business email in the my Twitter bio for this kind of thing to get ready for this. And sure enough, yeah, like people started rolling in of wanting to do it, and that's when I knew I was in trouble.
Oh yeah.
When I started looking at the inbox and it was just all bold and it was all showcase, or the press conference and all these different things of like, oh fuck, like there's a lot of people who want to do this. There was, when you talk about it and you think about it, it was like, is this going to be a 15-20 minute thing? Is it going to be, can we make an hour? And now it's like we're at 2. We think we're at 2 hours, right? We haven't still done like time scheduled out
yet.
I'm still estimating 2 hours for it. And it's just like, holy shit, right? And like the amount of people that came in. And then it was the normal thing of all of this came in, and at no point did that mean I was getting pulled off of our other projects.
Right.
So
Classic Greg Miller fashion.
Yeah.
Let me still do 18 shows a week while planning this thing.
So then it became that, yeah, everybody found out through Twitter. So I just kept communicating publicly on Twitter of like, I have 64 emails I haven't read. I'm going to get to them on the weekend, right? And it was like, I think this is the weekend Poe was visiting. He was landing actually as I did this. So like Sunday when we watched the Bears game with Lucy at Underdogs, I brought the laptop and I was like, I'm going to knock out all these emails. And I got through like a tenth of them, you know what I mean? And then it was like continuing to work on that schedule and keep people updated and do this and make folders and then, craft messaging, which we didn't do because it was this thing of like, cool, where should we send our developers? Can they get on stage and demo the game? And I'm like, oh, no. And I keep saying like it's
We just need a video.
It's a PSX mashed with a
1080p,
Nintendo
30p.
a Nintendo
1080p.
Direct, right? Where it's exactly. It's us gonna do video intros. At the time, I had no idea what that meant. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna introduce things. We're gonna introduce segments, but we're kicking to video packages. If you want, your developer can give a message. We can talk about different things to do. But so many people were here. When the Game Informer guys got a message from their audience, and it was like, "Hey, are you guys sending anybody to the Kind of Funny Game Showcase?" They were like, I don't think so, no, but we wouldn't be post. I had write like, hey guys, it's a video. Like, don't worry, you don't have to go anywhere.
We're making
right?
this so. I bet I have to imagine that once all the smaller developers heard that, they were like, thank God.
Oh sure, I imagine.
Thank
right?
God that we don't have to do something and like send people someplace and like have that expense, because that has to be like, I mean, even just the time commitment of coming down and making sure your stuff works right and getting everything installed and all that stuff is just a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
I like this so much better.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that for purely selfish reasons.
No.
Because Kind of Funny Live comes close to killing me and Tim every year.
This is the thing we
And
were
it's
talking
like,
See
about.
next year if we do Showcase 2, because will that be live? We'll see.
Who knows?
Hopefully
Who
PSX
knows?
is there to take the torch. We don't have to. So the dude, when E3, when they were like, oh, PlayStation's not doing E3, the number of joke tweets I got about we should do an E3 press conference, followed by the DMs from real developers being like, if you're in, I'm in. I'm like, oh my fucking God, please stop.
An E3
We haven't
press
even gone.
conference.
I haven't even proved I can do this one yet.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like this was,
It is an interesting evolution though of those press conferences, right? Because like historically, it's always been the company doing the press conference for their own
We were
stuff.
talking about this, right? Of like, has there been in independent way? Like you think of like the PC E3 press conference, kind of.
But that's different though, because that's still PC. It's still just one
has a-
console.
yeah,
you know what I
theme
mean?
to it, yeah.
Console.
And it's-
in
yeah.
quotes. But then you look at things like Game Awards. I feel like that's the closest we get. But
Yeah.
that's just a bunch of announcements. That's not a press conference.
Yeah.
It's an award show that has trailers.
And
Whereas
that's-
this-
stuff in it,
the
yeah.
focus is announcements. The
Right.
focus is trailers and
Like making an
release date
actual
Yeah,
show.
reveals.
when I
for all
when I
this cool
started
stuff.
when I started crafting the pitch on the fly to these people, right? The idea is like the Kind of Funny Game Showcase is celebrating games, and to be a part of it, all you have to do is have a game that looks cool, obviously, but have something new to say. It
Yeah.
can be that your game has DLC. It can be that your game's previously announced, but you have a release date. It can be that you're releasing it today. It can be that you're announcing a game. And so
But
many
it
people
has
have,
to be new, and like
so many people have
that's
reached
so
out with that. Yeah.
so important that it's not just, hey, you've seen this game a million times.
Yeah.
Here, look at it again with
Yeah.
no new information.
And that was the thing, and that's been it's been hard, not hard, I should say. It's been hard learning, not even learning to, but in this instance, learning to say no to people. You know what I mean? Of that message, like, oh man, because it is.
You can't get everyone in there.
It
That's
is
the
still
problem.
indies. It is still small.
Yeah.
People reach out and they're like, yeah, we're doing it. And the game comes out, end of November. And I'm like, ugh, I know that's close, but I can't, right? And like one of the games that we were talking about yesterday, right? Of like, do we follow up on this?
Yes.
Their dates are hitting, like they were trying to do day and date or right after us, but they're going right before us. So I reached out. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I've turned other people away because
the
of
game
that.
looks fucking awesome.
And
It's
they
the
were like,
biggest
well, what?
problem.
They were like, oh fuck, we didn't know. But we would have changed release dates. It's too late now. I'm like, I understand. But they were like, okay, well, then they came up with like 3 other things that make them okay, cool. That's news. Yeah, we can get you in the show if you do that. If you say that, right?
Yeah.
Something hot.
Totally. And it's like, and that's the thing now of like, when I finally got all the ducks in a row and made the Kind of Funny Game Showcase FAQ and sent it off to all the developers, the ball was finally in their court. They finally had pretty much all the answers they needed, but like what we needed, what it needs to look like, what kind of information we need from them, right? And I was like, cool. Now it's in their court. I get to chill out. And then it was like, I looked at the calendar for the next week, and like that was when we were supposed to be recording like our shit. I was like, oh fuck, I got to be on
For the
everybody's
showcase.
ass for this. Yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of like this. Because another big thing, for us is what you've already said, right? And what you were hinting at too, in terms of doing a showcase and doing a press conference, is we've seen so many of these. We know what is good, we know what is bad, we know what doesn't work, and what we always want to change, right? And that's why any intro is super, hey, here's what the information is and let's go.
Yeah.
That's why the few montages we're doing, right, I'm very proud of them, because they're going to be, when you look at a PSX montage, no offense to PSX, and press conferences in general.
Yeah.
Hey, cool, we have a whole bunch of partner games, let's look at them. And you get this montage that's cutting around between
Here's
games.
some dubstep. and here's some like footage of 10 different games.
And they're not
no labels.
There was
no
a year at PSX where they did that, and in the room they showed the logos on a different screen. At home there were no logos.
was just gameplay
You're
footage.
like, what are these games?
You don't know what they
and
are.
even when they do have the names, like I don't understand what I just saw.
Yeah.
And so like from the ground up for us, it was like, all right, cool. When we do montages, because the whole thing is not montages. When we do montages, it is going to be, we want a bug to pop in that's like what the developer is, release date, genre, information there that you
Consoles.
have. Yeah, exactly. All the quick hit information. And then we had every developer, pretty much every developer, even if they're putting in trailers or announcements otherwise, put in a 280 character description that then we read.
Yeah.
So that's like, all right, cool. Here's the pitch of the game. Not that it's ours, but here we're pitching it for you so that as you watch it, you can read about it, you can see the game, and you can hear what's going on.
Yeah.
And you actually know what the fucking game is, which is a huge part
And
for
I think
us.
that is a perfect example of how we are making this a press conference our way, where it's like we've learned from what we like and what we don't like, and we're going to try to deliver the information the way that we would want people to deliver it to us, with minimal stupid jokes and overly long sketches and all of this dumb shit. You know, like this, I feel is a
And
great.
you're not kidding, because when we talked about this, I said I'm in, but the one thing I want is that couch from the Switch announcement, and you were like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm still in. I'm still in. Just want you guys to know.
That's the thing is, we want to get in, and we want it to be like I'm writing the script, right? And it's like 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, maybe a 4th. That's it. Go.
And that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we need to get in and out. This, I think, is going to be a very interesting turning point in what our company is capable of.
Sure.
I'm really interested to see what the reaction is to this. I think it's going to be very positive.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is what it is. It's not it's not pretending to be more than it is.
Yeah.
It's like, look, this is a celebration of video games. This is a interesting focus on a bunch of games that you probably wouldn't have heard of and definitely wouldn't have got this type of attention otherwise.
Like, if I can pause you, like that's the biggest thing for me, right? Of like, when I start talking about this and I'm doing a showcase, why are you doing a showcase? It's just the fact of with PSX gone, there are dozens of games, right? Like right now we are at 64 games in the Kind of Funny Game Showcase. That will
5 away.
Get 5.
That,
Come on, guy.
that's a great point.
Come on,
actually.
guy.
I'm sure it will go up. I'm sure it'll fluctuate. We're going to fluctuate
You know,
before we get there.
Don't you know what we do here?
But the idea is that there's no other avenue in December for 64 games to come out and be like, here's an announcement, here's a release date, the game's out now, all this other stuff without this, right? And on top of that, it's the idea that what I want to do is it's what I'm trying to do with Kind of Funny Games Daily, right? Okay, cool. There's smaller creators I want to bring in, right, and use our platform for. I think our platform goes a long way of, hey, we all love video games. Well, you and I love video games. We love video games. I love indie games. You know what I mean? I love these things that you can get in short bursts. And I love going to a PAX and seeing games that, you don't get to see. But like what we talk about is we come back from those PAXs and I talk about them. If we lead with that as the headline, nobody clicks on it, right?
Yeah.
This is a great idea of here is all you need to know about all these awesome games. And again, it's very much the Adam Boyes method from old PSX of we're going to have 12 announcements. I hope 3 speak to everybody. Like we're going to have 64 games in there. I assure you, you are going to see shit that you're like, I need that. And hopefully you can get it that day.
What's also very interesting about this is we don't have to do this. Right? Sure. This is not like this is not something that was born out of like, oh, we need revenue or we're sponsored or what. This is just
this isn't
fun.
sponsored. Yeah,
You psychotic fucking bastards were like, yeah, this sounds like a fun thing to do, and I'm like,
Well,
okay,
what's cool about it is I feel like you're almost a little bit too inside it right now to see
totally.
what it really is, because I feel like the comparisons to PSX almost aren't apt at all. It just happens to be happening that day. At this point, this isn't PSX.
I know.
This is its own thing that is more about focusing on games that wouldn't ever even be at PSX. That's not to say that there aren't games that would be.
Sure.
Because there are.
Of course.
But I feel like this is cool that what's different and unique about it is this is the first time that there's a video game press conference with every console being represented and different games being announced from AAA all the way down to good lord, all the way down to indie. And like other people have done it before in similar ways, like you know Devolver is a good example, right? But they had their own vibe, they have their own thing.
We're not doing Devolver.
We're not doing the Devolver. We're trying to take this seriously.
But that was still all games that were underneath their umbrella.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
That was their own thing. Yeah, this is the first time it's kind of like, hey, it's marketing, right? And I feel like what makes us unique is that we have the audience.
Yeah.
Like we have that built-in ecosystem of like, Double Fine often does the Or
Day of the Devs.
Day of the Devs. That's Double Fine, right? That
I think they're like lead sponsor. Greg Rice organizes it. I'm not sure if it's an official Double Fine event.
So, like they do this.
Yeah.
It's just
Sure, but
they don't kind of get the entire industry's eyes on it.
Sure,
Right,
yeah,
but,
that's the lucky.
But what's really cool for me to see, to kind of sit back and watch this, because I'm helping in any way I possibly can, but I obviously am not like intricately involved.
How's that montage bug coming?
Oh, it's fantastic. I have it all queued up. I'm working on it today. My stuff, I feel like is the easiest part of this, right? This is our wheelhouse of like make graphics, shoot you guys intros, all that stuff. That's easy.
Hey, Joe.
Give him the footage. But what I find fascinating and what I wish people could see, because they don't often get a chance to see this, is when I come in the morning and I'm planning the morning show and you go,
It became
dude,
dog water. Can you dump it out and give me more water?
Right.
See, this is why I don't bring him in. This is why I don't bring him in. That's why he throws off the show.
I like how he smelled the water for a good 5 minutes and then was
like,
like,
"All right, I guess
one
I
lick,
gotta go."
I don't want it anymore. One lick, I don't want it
So
anymore.
we've missed him.
No, but what I want people to understand is like you would come in. I would come in the morning. You would already be there, of course. And you'd be like, dude, I know you don't like this is not necessarily your wheelhouse, but you got to look at this trailer.
Yeah.
Like you got to check this thing out.
Yeah.
And you're giddy as a school kid because you get all these cool trailers and you're like legit stoked to see this shit before everyone else. So this is not coming from a place of like of anything else other than pure passion, which is just super impressive to me.
Well, again, it's the idea that I get to use our platform, my platform, to show these people who are working so hard on something. Right?
Yeah.
This is the evolution of the Game Awards speech. Of like how I can pay it forward and thank developers,
It's really
right?
cool.
And every one of these games that's in here, and I'm not bullshitting. I think, I think as I try to run through the 64 games, every one of these games in here is legitimately cool. There's
Yeah.
something that when they saw it, I was like, yo, yeah, fuck yeah, you need to be a part of this.
Real talk, I would say there was one game out of all these that I'm like, I don't know that we need to put this in, but it has a good story. So that's why it's getting put in. Every other game, like if there's 63, 62 of them, I'm like, either this is fucking cool or this is not cool for me, but it's cool for someone else.
Right.
Sure, and that's the big thing too, right?
Yeah.
Of trying to figure out what mood for a game you're going to be in or what's going to be. Yeah, so like it's run away. It's become a different beast. It's way more work than I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like it's to the point that, you know, obviously Jen's awesome. She's an amazing partner, but like this is I've never been this stressed, period, full stop. You know what I mean? Like I've never at work, whether you talk about IGN, whether you talk about an E3, whether you talk about whatever, been as stressed out as I am now, because I just want to make sure I'm nailing this, not only for us but for these developers and for the audience, obviously. So, and it's not that I'm like I hate it or anything like that. It's just it's a lot, and it's a you know, it's juggling a lot of different
passionate
pieces.
work.
Yeah, and so like, you know, there was a full, you know, of something I've never ever had in my life or whatever, or let alone with Jen, obviously, but like this past Sunday, or no, not time's gone for me. I have no idea. The last Sunday we were home.
It's Christmas right now. You're fine. You can sleep.
Oh my God, finally.
You can sleep.
She keeps saying that. She's like, I cannot wait for December 15th.
Does she understand that you're going to hit December 15th and hibernate like a bear for
She's
3
like,
weeks?
she's like, you're going to hit December, like, well, this is the 8th, right? So you're going to hit December 10th to December 12th, and your immune system's going to shut down.
Probably.
Because right now it knows where the finish line is, and it's just pointing
You
to.
better-
Long story
you better
short,
prepare
Finish
for
line,
that.
by the way.
Oh, I know. There's still more kind of
January
funny.
5th, baby.
But I mean, that's the thing, right? Of like, we'll get to that, of how
Finish line after finish line.
you do something, I'm doing something, and we come together and we need each other and we don't talk otherwise. Sunday of last weekend, it was that, we woke up and I forgot Saturday was the XO18 thing. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, it was a work day after, you know, the last weekend being Extra Life, after the last weekend before that being some trip we were on. And Sunday I woke up and the house is destroyed. You know, the kitchen's a mess. There's shit all over the living room. Our bedroom's disgusting. And it was that thing of like, all right, a lot of chores to do today. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. All right, I'm cool. I'm like, all right, I'll start on the kitchen. And she's like, no. Like, you sit on the couch. Like, you sit on the couch and you play Assassin's Creed. Like, you are dying. I can see it. I can see this killing you. Like, just sit down and I will take care of everything. And I'm like, but I don't want to be a bad partner. She's like, you're not. That's not what this is. She's like, it's the seesaw of a relationship. And right now you are so down that I got this. I can take care of this. You don't need to work. Don't do any of that shit. Just take care of yourself for a second. And that was awesome. And it was what I needed. And it was really fucking,
you
rad to
gotta
have
do
that
that
for a
every once
second.
in a while.
But I hadn't taken my foot off the accelerator in quite a while. And so like how badly I need a haircut right now. Like there's just no time.
It's great.
There's just no time.
You do, see, that's what you think you need a haircut. What you need to do is let it grow, baby.
Yeah.
Superman Returns. There it is.
Okay.
No, that's not what it was. What was it after
You
he
know, I
died?
mean, you're talking about the return of Superman,
That's
death
what
and
I
return
meant.
of Superman.
Yeah, that's what I
I hear
meant. That's what I
you.
want.
Turn
I
it
want you
up,
a little
Jimmy.
bit of gray. You come out with a hair.
Oh,
it's
so
gray.
Kingdom Come, where I have like pull back in a
fuck
ponytail
yeah,
with the
doggy
gray.
dog.
Okay.
Let's go.
So yeah, and it's just we're thundering towards and getting closer every day, and it's that thing of I've enjoyed the speculation that people will put up, or the feedback the best friends will put out, right? Because this is a very interesting thing. Before I get to that, right? Now the trailers are rolling in and we're watching all this different stuff, blah blah blah. After Games Daily, I think on Friday last week, Andrea came back to do some other work, and I was like, "Oh, you want to see some of the stuff?" She's like, "Yeah," and I started showing her stuff, and we watched like 2 or 3 trailers or whatever. She's just like, "This is gonna be huge for you guys. Like, are you excited?" And I'm like, I don't have that vision on it. Like you're talking about.
I'm so stoked. I'm thinking about.
I'm so down in it right now. Yeah, I can't think about it, but it does dawn on me, right, that right now our subreddit is speculating and our Reset Era community thread is talking about it, and it is that speculation of like, I just, like they put up the drinking game on the subreddit yesterday, and you read this and you're like, wow, it's awesome that you guys don't have you don't know what you're about to get. Because none of this is going to happen for the most part. In terms of like Kevin laughing or the video hitching or this, that, and the other, you know what I mean? Like, and like when it was in the early days of I'm doing this, and so one of the things where people are like, I just feel like you guys need to work out technical shit. And I'm like, that's why we are going to Twitch. Like Twitch has been incredibly nice and awesome with this and talked to us from I announced it. Because again,
shout out to Mary. It's
this crazy thing that I announced this stupid thing, very much like Kind of Funny, where I thought it was going to be an uphill battle to make people understand it. And it's been the complete opposite of people bending over backwards to help us, give us assets. But then on top of that, the fact that when we announced it on that day, Dornbush and Barrett did a video at IGN about it. Like, well, about PSX being canceled, but talked about us in that, right? A way to legitimize it. Game Informer talking about it. Then when I go on beyond getting questions about it and like actually having a real conversation about it, Twitch reaching out and being like, whatever you guys need. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you know, we're a garbage truck on fire. Nothing works right. This is going to be a VOD. Can we run it from your HQ? And they're like, totally you can run it from here. So it's like, now if anything goes wrong, we are indeed cursed, and it has nothing to do with our technical setup.
It's true.
Like, when Andrea said that, it was the first glimpse I really had of like, right, like this is going to be a big deal outside. Because like, so many developers and publishers have asked me like, what do you think numbers are going to be on this? And I'm like,
10 million.
I really don't know, but
or else it's a failure.
What I keep talking to them about is like, when we do E3 post press conference stuff, like when we do the PlayStation post press conference, like it's usually 20. We have
20 is the highest.
20,000
for PlayStation.
Yeah, and that'll stick there. 15 will go down a bit. Yeah, I know, right? Well, really, man, Shuhei fucked us on those numbers for this one.
That's all that we had, Shuhei, is PlayStation's E3 press conference.
But I keep talking to them about it, right? I'm like, that's 15 or 20 at our highest, obviously.
Yeah.
When we're competing, there's other people. There's Easy Allies. There's IGN. There's so many other people making that same kind of content. So what is it going to look like on a day when we're the only show in town? And I want everyone doing reaction streams, and I want you talking over it, and I want everyone to use this and co-stream it and all that jazz. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I feel like for me, a success level would be 10K. If we get 10K concurrence, I'm like, we did a good job. I want a lot more than that though, and I feel like that's on us to get the word out and to explain to people what you just said about.
Well, we got
hey, we want you
talked
to,
about a press release.
We need to do a press release. We need to send it out to like. The thing is, we are treating this differently than we treat a lot of Kind of Funny things, where it's not about Kind of Funny. It's about 100%. The games. It's about game announcements. We're doing a showcase, and it is showcasing the games. It is not about a bunch of in-jokes. It's not about, our stupid bullshit. It's about us presenting information the best way we know how.
It's going to be a little bit about our stupid bullshit. Just a little bit.
It's not though.
I mean, like
it's
in terms of
really not.
Me and Tim like being very off the cuff and funny, but I mean that's in 2 lines. It's not going to be Chad. It's not going to be Kevin. It's not. You know what I mean?
You can.
I do want Nick to be weird. I do want Nick to come on. You want to get weird.
You want to get weird?
That's all I want.
Do you want to get weird, doggy dog?
But my thing is, this is it's bigger than us. Where it's 100%. Like this is something that video game websites cannot know who the fuck we are and still watch it, and it's about the information. It's not about us.
In the biggest way, I think the easiest way to put it right is like, this isn't sponsored, and because we time window, but more importantly, we didn't want it. We didn't chase sponsorships. We don't want this to be sponsored. In the same way, it's not brought to you by Taco Bell, Hitman 2, whatever the hell else. It's also not brought to you by Kind of Funny.
Absolutely.
There's not going to be a lower third that pops up like, hey, remember the GameOverGreggy show is something that exists.
And not that there's anything wrong with sponsorships, by the way. And like, I reserve the right to one day get this sponsored.
No, for test bed, here's what we are. This is what it is.
We wanted this to be pure, exactly
Passion
what our
love.
Vision was, with the best that we could do with what we were given. So it's like, with the 63 games we have now, this is the best show we can possibly make.
Yeah.
To announce them and to show them off properly. And I think that it's going to go outside of our normal fan base of people. It's going to have our fan base, but then plus
and that's
more.
That's what I was driving at earlier, right? Of like, I don't see it at the moment being a huge thing, right, for the industry and getting all this. I see it as we're producing something and the subreddit's talking about it, which is normal, right? And so it is that thing of they're really into it and they're really trying to figure out what's going on and where it's going to go. But like, I hope when whoever hears about it from whatever and they tune in, right? And it's the thing of like, again, the amount of press people have reached out to me wanting to know about it. Like I'm expecting coverage from like the outlets too. Like the way Joey's already planning out the social feed of like, if you're not watching live on Twitch, once the announcements end, we're just publishing the segments and the trailers up there and tagging the right people. So you can, again, this would be great. Yeah, sure. If you follow Kind of Funny for shit, it's more about the idea of like, oh man, that was a really cool game. I want to know more about it. I can go to Kind of Funny vids, see it tagged, follow the developer, follow the game, do whatever you need to do. Right.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of, and they'll go up on YouTube right afterwards, obviously. And it's a lot of moving pieces right now that are always changing. Fun story for you. Our final thing tried to pull out today.
Fuck.
So I reached back and I was like, well, okay, hold on a sec. So we'll see what happens. They're working. It's not like they're being dicks about it.
Yeah.
They're like, it's moving parts or whatever. We'll figure it out. It won't be bad either way. You don't even know what it was or is. So you don't even know what you're missing or getting.
Bullshit.
But we'll figure it out. But yeah, it's been a lot of work. It's been an interesting ride. It's been more than I thought it would be. It's been great, and I can't wait to get to the finish line and have the final product.
That's always what these things are,
Of course.
right? That's every creative venture we've ever done here at this company.
Oh yeah,
Which
you don't know
was
until we jump. We jump.
No, you just put it out there and say this is what we want, and then you just kind of figure it out. That's always the way it's going to go.
And I mean, like when it's gonna be awesome to sit there and watch your cut of it. Because right now, just having the assets and the trailers and the montages, like we got so much more stuff in today. Like we're nearing the finish line on being pretty much video complete, and it's like, wow, some of this shit's awesome.
It's cool
like,
shit.
It's all awesome, but then there's like some shit where I'm like, holy fuck, I can't believe we have this and we're gonna get to do this. I can't believe these people are working with us. I can't believe they're announcing this with us.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah, real
all
cool.
of it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Like I swear, every game that we saw a trailer for was a surprise because it's like when you start seeing stuff like even like the smaller titles. I'm spoiled a little bit here, but I think it's gonna be okay because I'm not gonna name anything. But we got a thing that was just like an email that was like, yeah, like we're debuting this game. Also, we shot a live action trailer, and we're like, oh, like eye roll, like I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be so cringeworthy bad. And then we watch it, we're like, this is actually dope as
Actually pretty cool. Actually pretty cool.
Like, how the hell is this? Like, you got even Nick.
And that's what I'm saying. I was like, it's been fascinating, like turning over, like once a day, you look over and be like, oh, that's really cool. Like that's something that you're seeing a lot of people recognize, hey, this is a cool opportunity.
Yeah.
And we want to come at this like the right way and do something cool and utilize this as a platform to really get a lot of eyes on our products. It's fun. And there's the other one I don't want to talk about, but there's a couple other ones where you're like, Nick, this is right up your alley. And I'm like, yeah, boy.
Well, that's the other strength
boy.
of it in the way we did it, right? Is like, even in the FAQ, I was like, obviously there's exceptions to this rule, but it was like, cool, if you're doing a trailer, 60 to 90 seconds is the sweet spot. If you're doing the montage, I need 30 seconds of footage. So it is, unlike, I think, like a lot of press conferences, if you're watching this and you're like, this so isn't my game, hopefully by the time you've had time to say that twice and look at your phone, it's over.
Yeah.
Like you're done.
Absolutely.
We're on to the next thing. That's not for you. We got something else coming up that'll be this. We're packaging some games together. These aren't all for you. You understand that there's a finish line in sight for what you're getting.
I'm most excited to see the reaction to this and to see what it ends up turning into down the line. Like, not to say there's gonna be a next time, but I can't imagine there's not. But I just feel like
we operate off of this gonna be a next time unless otherwise specified in this company.
So I think that like this is gonna prove a lot to a lot of people, and then the next one could only be bigger.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's no way it's smaller than this, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one. Like, I just want PlayStation to be like, no, we're doing a PSX next year. Great, cool, thanks, bye.
That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with PlayStation.
I know it has nothing to do with PlayStation.
Like,
I know.
It could be next March. It could be this could be, we could put out 15-minute ones it could be like Nintendo Direct.
The kind of
You know what I mean? We can do small showcases.
Kind of funny quarterly.
Yeah, the kind of funny game
everybody.
showcase. It's just
Kind of Funny magazine. It's just a video where we talk about it. You can
I love
subscribe.
it, man.
It's interesting.
Anything is
It's
possible.
gonna be. I can't wait to. It's gonna be very interesting when I'm watching it when it's done and there's nothing left to do.
Let me put it this way: like this is the way, and this is me spitballing.
Yeah.
With you guys, with just the two of you listening. No one else can hear.
Sure,
Because no one else can hear.
No
me.
one-
Tree of
no one
trust.
watches this
Porty,
one.
close your ears.
You start thinking about the business of this, and like I was saying earlier, like this is something unique that nobody has done, and there's so much demand for the marketing of these amazing games that do not get talked about for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. if we did this and turned this into a product, we could hire an entire team that this is their thing, that we do this because it turns into this machine.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's we could change the industry with this. And I know that sounds fucking stupid.
No,
but
it
it's like-
doesn't though, because again, this is my thing, is when I walk the PAX floor, right, and I go to the Indie Mega booth, it is like, holy shit, there's so much amazing crap here. I didn't know about this. I haven't seen this, blah, blah. And getting the word out about that game is tough. That's why PAX is great as a fan event. That's why PSX was great as a fan event. You get people there. You get your Trevor Starkeys. You get your OK Beasts. You get your Alex's O'Neills. They're out there. They play all these games. They go back. They evangelize and spread the word and get these groundswell stuff for it. But you're right that if we could figure out a way to do that, because it's the same thing of Indie Mega Booth can make a YouTube trailer for all this stuff, can make a YouTube video and put it out. But it's what we're talking about, right? They don't have, with all due respect to them, a personality that's
The
like, hey, this is
personality
what it is
and
that's drawing in this and making all this
built-in
stuff.
audience
Yeah.
of just like of getting people excited to want to talk about all this stuff. I just think it's really cool, and we'll see. I know we're getting ahead of ourselds. That's what we do, though.
Yeah, man, if it sucks, delete
If it
this
sucks, it
episode,
sucks.
Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
We all knew it was a joke.
It's not gonna suck.
Yeah.
What are you trying? How are you trying to make him sit?
I don't know.
Just cross your leg.
He looks like Timon.
I just want to hold him so he feels secure, but he's doing the shaky thing. I think he just wants your lap.
Okay.
That's what he wants. He wants Papa's lap. See? Look at this. He's getting excited. He knows where
He
his
does the
bread
penguin
is,
thing.
on which side his bread is buttered. There it is, right there.
And
Look at that. And now I'm here. And now he looks. You know what I love about him?
Where's the
Creature
water
of
at?
habit. Looked right at the water. I was like, am I
he knows
gonna
what he wants,
dip
yeah.
that water there? What's up?
He's like, all the water he isn't supposed to drink is always better than his.
Always. Well, nothing better than water. That's someone else's water, if you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Doggy dog. Doggy
I'm
dog.
excited for you guys, man.
I'm
I
excited
really
for you.
am.
This is gonna be great for all of us.
I want to see this coming.
What?
It's always fun to watch the fun Tim edit of everything.
Something we haven't publicly said. You, ladies and gentlemen, are invited to the after party.
Oh, yes.
Once we end the official stream where we're not pimping our shit, we're just going to play Smash Brothers and drink here and
Fuck
stream
yeah,
that. So if
doggy
you want to
dog.
watch us play Smash and bask
That's
in
going
the
to
glow
be-
of the reviews of I can't believe Kind of Funny did this, they're terrible. God damn it. Patrol.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that after party is definitely worth checking out. Because the last few after parties we've done for things like this, just throwing out like extra, has turned into drunken shenanigans.
Sure.
Will
And
we
this
play
time-
Where's Nick? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
We'll
No,
have
you'll be too
Super
busy doing
Smash
crying
Brothers
elbows.
Ultimate,
Oh,
man.
God, I'm so
That's the thing, yeah.
fucking
Like finally
excited.
blowing off steam and just playing Smash. It's just going to be
Hell
pizza and
yeah.
Smash. That's all it's going to be.
I can't wait,
fucking
man.
love it.
Yeah,
I love
me
it.
too. Nick,
Ugh.
Yes, sir.
what's your topic?
Oh, shit. What was my topic? I don't think I have one.
No, you had something that was like you didn't want to, it was,
Have you checked the ads, by the way, for this one?
yeah, well, this one we're way too far ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Last week we were open for yesterday's. caller.
Somehow we should like make note of that so we don't fuck it up.
And now a word from our sponsors. Yes, everybody, it's me, Greg Miller in the future, not Greg Miller in the past, recording the episode of the GameOverGreggy show. And I want to talk to you about Loot Crate. You know Loot Crate. I know Loot Crate, but do you know Loot Gaming? Loot Gaming is a loot crate built around your favorite gaming franchises, the gaming franchises in general, maybe new gaming franchises you're just going to learn about each and every month. You get a box of gaming goodies sent to your door for things like Halo, Metal Gear. You know, we have that Metal Gear pint glass I drink out of all the time and that Nick hid from me and I got really mad at him for, but then I found and now he doesn't ever use it because Nick only drinks out of Starbucks cups. I digress. Loot Gaming is great. Let me tell you about it. Loot Gaming is a curated collection of exclusive one-of-a-kind items from the best video game franchises. The December Crate has 4 incredible franchises, including Halo, Gears of War, Mass Effect, and Galaga. There's a guaranteed t-shirt in every crate. Loot Crate packs $60 of value into every crate for less than $29 a month. You can't lose. Loot Crate also offers 16 other awesome crates from pop culture classic Loot Crates to from the classic Loot Crate to some of your other favorites, including Fallout and Halo. Subscribe now and give yourself a birthday present every month. Or do what I did for Cool Greg. Subscribe and give it as a gift. The holidays are here, and as I keep telling you guys, you're going to forget. You are going to forget to get people stuff. Do it right now. Pull the car over and go to lootcrate.com/Greggy. This crate's going to sell out, so you must order this week to guarantee yours. Get the best surprises each month from the largest geek and gaming subscription company. Geek out in style with Loot Crate. Subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/Greggy and enter my code Greggy to save an exclusive 30% off your subscription. That's lootcrate.com/Greggy. My code Greggy to save an exclusive 30% off your subscription. Our other sponsor? It's a new one. It's Upstart. Applying for a loan is a lot like applying for a job that you don't get to interview for. Instead, loan companies make their decisions based off your credit score and history without getting to know the whole you. Now, thanks to Upstart.com, it never has to be that way again. Upstart is revolutionizing the way you borrow money by rewarding you for your job experience and education in the form of a smarter interest rate. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Greg Miller. You already knew that. I took out a loan when I had to do pay my taxes and when I got divorced. And let me tell you, a better interest rate would have been really helpful for young Greggy trying to navigate that way back in the day, getting paid nothing. That's why Upstart's cool. Unlike traditional credit underwriting, which could be biased against people with a short credit history, like young Greggy. Upstart goes beyond the traditional FICO score when assessing your credit worthiness. Upstart believes you're more than just a credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in less than 2 minutes without affecting your credit score. And the best part, once your loan is approved, the funds will be transferred to you the very next business day. The next day! Over 100,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards, student loans, fund their wedding, or to make large purchases. Free yourself from the burden of a high credit card interest rate debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. Hurry to upstart.com/Greggy to find out how long your Upstart rate is. Nope, how low your Upstart rate is. Long doesn't make any sense. I'm very tired getting ready for this kind of funny game showcase. Check your rate. It only takes 2 minutes and it won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/Greggy. Back to the show. You want to talk about your weekend, who you worked with, I thought?
Oh, yeah, I had an interesting... Well, I mean, yeah, I was... I met the comedian Godfrey, who is a guy who's been doing comedy for 20 years. I had just a very...
You said this because like you totally walked the story in wrong for me.
Yeah.
Where a friend took you to a comedian...
My buddy Terry, who runs a lot of shows in San Francisco, he needs another water.
Portillo did the thing where he drank 2 sips of it again.
Leave this one here and bring him another
even though
one.
he'll know. He knows. He knows which water is mine and which
Maybe he just likes the cool Foxhound.
Oh, you mean this Luke Gaming thing that maybe Luke Gaming sponsored today?
Maybe.
If they did, insert the ad here.
There it is.
If they didn't, don't help them. Don't give them any money.
No, it's one of those things where like this was just a weird, fun weekend for me because my buddy Terry called me up and said, "Hey, I'm working with this comedian named Godfrey, who goes by the comedian Godfrey. Been doing comedy forever. Fucking hilarious. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out."
You told me you went and this guy had questions about YouTube, so I went and talked to him. He's a comedian. I was like, okay, cool. And then he was like, oh, it's Godfrey. I'm like, it was fucking Godfrey. I know Godfrey.
Yeah. So I mean, I to be fair was not terribly familiar with his work before. Terry told me, and I was like, oh, I'll look him up, of course. Check out his YouTube channel. Watch some of the Showtime special that's on his YouTube channel right now. And he was like, he wants to start building more content on YouTube. Sure. But doesn't necessarily like understand how to do that as a priority, right? And so, what's up?
He's walking around by cool, right? Doesn't
matter. So I was able to go down to the Improv down in San Jose, hung out, watched his show, and was able to kind of hang out with him at a little bit afterward, and just chat.
Is he awesome? Is he cool?
Oh,
did he have good stories?
My God, you're talking about a guy who's been doing comedy for 20 years.
Yeah. Let me tell you a little bit about him.
Yeah.
He has appeared on BET, VH1, Comedy Central, and feature films such as Soul Plane, Original Gangsters, Zoolander, and Johnson Family Vacation. He was also
give it to me,
a spokesperson for 7-Up during the popular 7-Up Yours advertising
you were
campaign.
Right. You were right.
I was fucking right. I had a moment yesterday.
There was confusion.
There was confusion.
We didn't know that was.
I knew it was him though.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. So the reason I bring this up is because I was not that I was able to impart any information to him, because I mean this is stuff that is super in our wheelhouse. But I was like, yeah, here's what you do to do this stuff. He's like, okay, cool. But
here's how you upload a video.
No, he knows how to do all that stuff. It's just that weird convoluted process of that Google does not make it easy to actually get the money off of YouTube. You have to have like an AdWords account and like get that approved and put that in your... It's like, Google, come on, figure it the fuck out. Like, why can't that all be in the back end of YouTube right now? I digress, because it isn't for Twitch. Twitch just doesn't matter. So I was like, I walked him through that stuff, but I was able to... The cooler thing was I was able to sit there and watch him, and he did an hour and a half like it was nothing. Yeah. And I was hanging out with a couple other comics that I'm familiar with that were opening for him. Terry was one of them. Mark Smalls was another one. You know Mark. And then Irene too was the other comic that was hosting the entire night. And they're phenomenal. These guys are all like comedians that are at the top of the game in San Francisco. Like that, I kind of say like they're the ones at the top of the glass as the water's filling the glass.
Sure.
That they're about to spill over, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
they're already touring. They're already doing these things. Like you can see in their eyes. You're like, are you going to stick around in San Francisco or is it LA or New York calling? So that's so I already look up to these guys because they're already the ones that are like past at punchline, and they're the ones that are every Sunday. It's some combination of these people that are there, and they're guaranteed spots there, or not guaranteed, but they're gonna be there a lot. They're the ones going out there and like they're in that spot where they get to when the big headliners come in town, like Godfrey. They are like he'll call them and they'll open for him, they'll feature for him, they'll do
Drink
all
the
that
dog
stuff.
water.
Yeah, you sure did. You sure. Well, he
not the
didn't
first
do you a
time
favor. He put
Kevin
it in the
brought
other
him in
pint
the
glass.
exact same
You can say
glass.
what? Let's play. We can play the musical chairs game with those things if you want. But what was cool was getting to pick his brain and sit there and talk to him. Like, what is your life like? How long have you been doing this for? How do you get to a point where you're so like confident on stage and just knocking? I mean, he crushed this audience. It was a Sunday night. And what was craziest was I was sitting there watching him, and I was talking to Mark, and Mark was like, he's done. Like Irene, I think, hosted for him the whole weekend, and they were so it was a whole weekend, the same crew of comics that were with him. And she was like, I don't know when he's done because he does a different hour every night.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
And by different hour, like she's like, sometimes he goes for an hour 15, sometimes it's hour 30, sometimes it's an hour on the dot. But I don't know what his closer, because usually the host looks like knows kind of what the closer is going to be, kind of pays attention. He goes, okay, I'm gonna wait in the wings. Irene's like, I was freezing in the wings of the San Jose Improv for like 20 minutes because I didn't know when he was going to stop, but I didn't want to like not be there for it because the energy of the show was so good that she wanted to come out, close it strong, and get out. So it was cool, man. And you're talking about a guy that, you know, he's like, I got another spot tomorrow at the Comedy Cellar in New York at 1 a.m. And I got to go back to it. And this is my life. And I love it. And I bet I do it every day. And it was just very, very, very cool for me to see that and meet someone, because I feel like I've been really kind of missing the ball when it comes to comedy. The last couple of shows we talked about on the morning show, my last showcase, it went south so fast. And I'm like, I am doing so poorly here. And then to see a guy who's like, dude, that's just like, I got a chance to talk to him. And he was like, yeah, that happens. You bomb. You just got to get back up there and keep going and keep grinding and keep doing it every day. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, I know this, but it's nice to have it reiterated by someone who's at the top of his game. Yeah. You're talking about a guy who's like,
sets.
knows Chris Rock, knows all these people, does, you know, is in that.
Made 7 Up yours.
Exactly. He's in that mix of like the Comedy Cellar. For a lot of people who don't know, like you've heard me talk about the Comedy Store. The Comedy Cellar on the East Coast is sort of, I don't want to say the kindred spirit of it, but that's where you want
the analog.
It's the analog. It's where you want to get into. It's one of the other historic clubs that's on the East Coast that you want to be doing sets at, because that's where Chris Rock's going to come work his shit out when he's in New York. Right? That's where everyone on the East Coast goes to work their shit out, including like Seinfeld and all these people. So it was really cool. But like, he got off the stage and he came back to the green and was like, hey, how was I? I was like, and I was like gushing, embarrassing myself in front of the other comics.
Dude,
I was
it's
like,
so good you said this. I love
well,
when you
because
did this.
you know, like I had obviously like 2 hours to prep for this, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch as much of his comedy as I possibly can. But I didn't follow him forever. It's not like if I were to like sit across from like Joe Rogan and be like, oh, I've seen all of your specials and I can talk kind of intelligent. I'm coming at this from a pure standpoint of like, what I just saw was amazing. And I was like, he came up, he's like, what'd you think? I was like, you were really good. And the rest of the comics just started laughing at me. They're like, "Are you fucking noob? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, I got no other level to talk to this guy on other than just the fact that he just blew me away for an hour and a half. Here. But it was really cool. It was a really unique experience, and hopefully I can help him, you know, with whatever he wants to do.
Is it what you needed to hear? You talked in the car about like, bombing and this and this real conversation you were having with me of, well, you know, you're not doing it as well at comedy or jiu-jitsu because you're splitting your time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been in what people in the sports industry and in the professional baseball industry would call a slump.
Oh, okay.
Right. In that I've been training in jiu-jitsu for like almost 2 years now, and I'm like going to do my first real competition, and I'm feeling really good about myself. And I'm gonna destroy this guy, and I got fucking pummeled. I got mauled like a gazelle gets mauled by like a fucking lion that's out to prove something. Right? I was like, oh shit, I am not. I got my expectations really, really dashed by what I was, and that's hard. That's a really big blow to your ego, right?
Eating a piece of humble pie when you thought you were going to go out there and kill
I ate
it.
a whole fucking baking shop of humble pie. And not only that, but you eat shit in front of your coach and your team and the people that are coming out there. And it's not to say that my coach was like turned his back on me and was like, I'm never going to fucking, you're not allowed back in the dojo. No, he was like, this shit happens, right?
I'm sure, with all due respect,
he likes that day too.
95 to 98% of this is all in your head.
Oh, 100%.
Of like, the like
100%.
disappointing people or what the audience thought, or you know what I mean?
I was, and I know this because my coach that day lost his division, but then got pissed and entered the open division and won that. And the open division is like
at the end of the day, at any given moment, someone wins and someone loses.
Someone loses.
Like it is 50-50.
It is 100%. But to go in and be like, okay, I think I'm ready for this, and then just to have like that was, by the way, what my coaches, all the people who have done competitions before, like, you have to do a competition. And I didn't understand quite, like, I don't think I understood quite why they were pushing me to do that. I was like, okay, I got to go win a competition. They're like, no.
Just do it.
Just do it. And the reason you do it is because you get the bar set properly to where you're at, I think. At least the first one. Where I'm like, oh, my expectation of what I could reasonably accomplish in a fight was here. Realistically, it should be about a half an inch above the ground. Like, that's really where I'm at. And so it was nice to go to have that. But literally, like, I was depressed for a week afterward. Like I haven't felt depression in a long time. And I was like, man, I'm just tired and I don't want to do anything and nothing's bringing me joy right now. And my wife looked over me and she was like, it's going to pass because you got a great group of people around you. You got a lot of stuff going, but I'm recognizing signs that you took this one hard. And I was like, cool. What I need right now is to go out and just go out and do comedy and have a fun show, like have fun on the morning show, which we did, do a cool podcast with the guys, and then go maybe do comedy, right? Tony calls me up that night, says, you want to come do comedy? I'm like, yeah, let's go do some comedy, man. This is sound fun. And I go out there and I eat shit for 10 minutes. And I'm like, I am terrible at everything. I don't know what, to the point where literally I was so, I don't want to say sad, but so disappointed in myself across the board. I raided the fucking vending machine. I was like, I'm getting Fritos. I'm getting some sort of M&Ms. And I'm sitting there and I'm just eating and I'm just trying to eat the pain away. But it was one of those weird things where you're like, it's not working. Like, this doesn't taste like anything because this can't be solved with food. This has to just be, I just have to wait this out. And so I think it's interesting that life always goes in sort of phases I think for everyone, right? You talk about being like, oh my God, you're overwhelmed by the showcase. And then all of a sudden you start to deal with it and process it. And then you start to get ahead of it. And then you start to get on top of it. And then you feel good about it, right? And that is always the process, I think, in everything, is that you take that first hit and go, shit, okay, I got to ready for the store. We got to recalibrate. And then you come in. But this was just a really nice, like, kind of punctuation toward the end of that 2 to 3 week span of me feeling kind of bad about myself. Was started working out again, went back to jiu-jitsu last night for the first time in 2 weeks because my instructor's like, my shoulder's been really fucked up. So I was like, I'm going to take 2 weeks off, which was the absolute wrong thing to do. Should have immediately gone back into the gym on Monday probably. But psychologically, I was like, to be honest, I was letting my ego heal as well. And so I was like, that was hard. Come back in. So it was last Sunday, started getting back into the comedy, and then was able to sit with this guy who's been doing it for 20 years and is just a fucking master of the. I mean, and when I say master, I mean, like, I look at him and I'm like, wow, that's something that you've spent that 10,000 hours doing, and you've mastered this. You are like, you make what I do look like I'm reading out of a joke book on stage, and that's cool. And you would think like, oh shit, that's intimidating, but it's not. It's like having that guy look at you and go, dude, just keep going. Like, I'm 20 years in. You're 2 years in. I'm 18 more years of experience in New York where I can hit 5 mics a night, and he's still miking, and he's still going out there. Well, not miking. He doesn't mic. He just goes out and does actual shows in order to prepare for then coming to the other places and booking these places. Was really, really cool, and it was what I needed. It was awesome. Nice. Yeah, it was good. So I'm feeling real good.
Baller.
Yeah. He's funny as fuck though. Everyone should follow him.
Comedian
He's got a ton of
Godfrey.
followers. Yeah.
What is? I mean, does he just do comedy now? Is he doing shows? Is he hosting stuff?
He hosts a radio show, I believe, on I forget what network.
Okay.
But that was interesting too, though, was because he was like, you know, you got a guy that is there. He's doing a lot of his Instagram. He's got a lot of Instagram followers because he's collaborating a lot with a lot of the bigger guys on Instagram.
All the OG Vine guys.
Yeah, the OG
King
Vine
Bach
guys.
and all them.
So he knows all those guys. He's fucking hilarious. And what's even cooler is that he's like, what I appreciate is always, I see this pattern in people who are successful. And I see it a lot in you guys, right?
He's a self-styled karate master.
Fantastic. He's jacked too.
Yeah.
He's fucking jacked. I see it, and what I appreciate most is that he walks in after just crushing for an hour and a half, right? Obviously, he's booking the San Jose Improv, which is a very big place to do comedy. So you're doing well. He's doing well. Comes in and goes, yeah, I still don't know anything about this stuff. Talk to me about it.
Yeah.
No ego.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know anything about YouTube, but I know that I want to put more stuff on YouTube. Like, what do you guys do? What's your strategy? What should I be doing from your perspective? And I'm like, that's always the sign that you're with someone who just wants to succeed, is that they're just put the ego aside.
Yeah.
You teach me. What is it? Okay, you tell. Cool, I'll do that. Not I know better than you because I have more followers than you. Just this is not my world. Why don't you teach me a little bit? So it was cool that I could share a little bit of 5 seconds of information with them of what I know, my small understanding of how to monetize stuff on YouTube, or like actually link. It was just really the process of linking that stuff on YouTube and getting that AdSense account, which to be fair is very convoluted and annoying, and Google needs to clean that shit up.
I do.
But yeah,
Me too.
that was it.
Cool.
I don't know if you guys have more questions about that or not.
No, that's really it. That's really
Now
it.
we're going into Thanksgiving where I get to eat pumpkin pie and relax.
You know what's going to be a fun topic when we come back? I'm doing a 5K in Chicago.
You do a 5K?
Yeah.
That's
You gonna do them in your Converse?
Super
Or you getting some
random.
running shoes?
No, I got running shoes. You know I have running shoes. You've seen me run.
Well, I haven't heard you talk about running in a while.
Oh, I haven't done it in a long time.
I
just gonna jump into a 5K.
Yeah,
But it's the casual Thanksgiving one, right?
It's the turkey trot in Naperville,
Yeah.
Illinois.
Got it.
Like,
All right.
oh, that was
Also, I was gonna say, how long you can do as long as you want, right? You don't have to
Oh, yeah,
you don't have to
like-
run a 5K in like 15 minutes.
It was, this is an interesting Thanksgiving for me because this is the first Thanksgiving ever, but since my parents split out, where Dad was like, I'd like you to stay with us and like go to our Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, sure. All right, cool. So I'm doing that. So I'm hanging out with Dad's side of the family. And so like, when we said, yeah, like my two cousins, Julie and Jody, like flipped out because they host it and they're like so excited that Jen and I will be there with Porty. And then it was like, we're doing the turkey trot 5K that morning. You want to come? And Jen and I were like, yeah, sure. Okay. And it is like, we did it. And then we were talking to Poe, who is, used to run, still runs every so often. He was talking about like, we were out drinking beers with him when we were visiting that time. And he was just like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, we signed up for a 5K. I'm like, am I going to be able to do that? He's like, oh, you'll be able to do it. No problem. He's like, I used to do these turkey trot kind of ones, but like, I went to the one in Naperville. I will never do that one again. Cause it's just wall to wall people. You can't run at your own pace. You just kind of like move as a mob. And I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. He's like, oh, you're going to be totally fine. And then like,
you're just gonna be a light
my
jog
cousin was
for
hitting-
30 minutes.
My
You're fine.
cousin was
Turns into
hitting
walking.
me up and talking about it. She's like, there's Bloody Mary stops. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be all right. This is gonna be my kind of 5K.
I hate this, but what is 5K in miles? Isn't it like 3 and some change?
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
Hey Siri, how many miles is a 5K?
5 kilometers is 3.11 miles.
There you go.
311.
She
You got
always
3 miles.
There you go.
3 miles is
She
it's not
always
that much to run.
She always used to get really mad at me when I would say on the GameOverGreggy show, like, oh yeah, she has a 5K coming up or whatever. She's like, I have a half marathon coming up, not a 5K.
So a marathon is what, 26 miles?
Yeah,
something
so
like that.
13 miles is the
So
half
13
marathon
miles. So
shoot.
that's
pretty
roughly
close. That's
10
pretty close
miles
to
more than what she's talking about. I made fun of my friend one time because he was like, dude, I've been training. And I was like, oh, what are you training for? He's like, training for that 5K. I'm like, what, are you going to do more than one in a day? Like, why do you have to train for that?
Well,
It's
see,
3 miles.
my thought process on it was, I was like,
Oh, get out of there.
Porty, come on, don't
Porty.
go to the decimators. Don't pee on anything over there. You'll break everything.
I have this image of him getting electrocuted like a cartoon where you see a skeleton.
Yeah. He's really probably looking for whatever Oreo we didn't find
Oh,
after
Christ,
cleaning up
he
that
smells
chocolate.
it. It's all the
No,
Cheez-Its.
my original plan was I was being good about riding the bike. And I was like, oh, I'll be in biking shape, like really good biking shape by the time this 5K runs around. Then California caught fire and you can't go outside.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that anymore. And then
Do
it
you
was
still have that
normal
gym
child
membership?
stuff. No.
I was gonna say if you can go to the gym next door, you should run on the treadmill.
Well, I mean, again,
Hair's
it's
still bad in there.
tomorrow. Or
Well, if
2
you go,
days,
if you go,
but
I was gonna say my gym has air conditioning, so it's filtered air, so
aircon.
you can go. In
I'm not worried about it at all.
without having to.
I'm not worried about the 5K. No, I have my biking tights on, my Mizzou shorts.
Yeah, you can be fine.
If I can find a cool turkey hat, I'll wear a turkey hat. I've decided.
That's fun.
You know what I mean?
You could also
You
wear a
won't be
Santa
able
hat
to.
because it's kind of Christmas.
I'm not one of those guys. I can't be. I'm not one of those guys.
Once
all right?
we get
once
past
we get to
Halloween,
Black
it's
Friday,
fine.
that's when
Look,
we really kick into
look at this
Christmas
shit.
overload. I know it's everywhere.
Fucking Starbucks rolled these out the day after Halloween.
Don't get me wrong.
No,
I'm
it's-
I'm
stoked.
like, are you kidding? And look at this. It's not even. Like, you look at it, and it's like they didn't even try it this year. This is a hideous thing.
Jesus Christ.
Look at my shame. Look at my fucking shame.
Okay.
I've always, that sounds like a fun thing to do, though.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna
gonna be
wake,
fun.
yeah, that's gonna be good. We're not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wake up at Mama Scarpino's house.
Mama Scarpino.
And eat pumpkin pie for breakfast.
Nice.
And then go do a leftovers party with my brother at his house on Friday, and then go home. And my brother's like, "Wait, you're not staying through the weekend?" I was like, "No, you guys are
So
crazy."
you're not. What are you doing Thanksgiving Day? This is Thanksgiving Day. I'm waking up at 7 in the morning.
Thanksgiving Day
Thanksgiving
is I fly in to I fly in Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Either my brother or my dad's gonna come pick me up, and they're fighting over that. I let them figure that out. I don't want to deal with it. Gonna go in. I think dinner's like 2.
Gotcha.
We're doing the early dinner so we can have late dinner as well. And my brother, a lot of his wife's family is coming to the
Gotcha.
dinner, and then I'm gonna spend the night at my parents' house, and then go to my brother's house on Friday.
I got
And
super
then
like
Saturday,
I'm
done.
doing super Midwest, suburban Chicago holiday where I'm doing the turkey trot on Thanksgiving, dinner with the cousins, hanging out with dad, wake up Friday, go to mom's. Then I want to go take Jen to the Glen Ellen tree lighting ceremony downtown Glen Ellen. Then Portillo's meet and greet Saturday, of course. Information on Twitter. Then Sunday fly home.
Yeah, I
There's some big ticket items on there.
That's great.
got to go to Gia's family's house for Thanksgiving.
Big G.
Not happy about that.
Why?
I don't like family. I don't like Thanksgiving.
Here's the thing. You guys start making these holidays what you want them to
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
What I'd say recommend for you is find the one thing you can look forward to. For me, it's clearly
pie.
the pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
then-
is the one thing I would look forward to. But have you met Gia and her family?
God, are they
Yeah,
all
what
organic
do you
and
not
vegan
like?
and shit?
What's wrong? You don't like?
I'm
Gia's?
totally fine with Gia's family. Like they're fine. I just like I would much rather do.
See, I
almost
feel
anything
like-
else.
I feel like Gia's family would be a dope family to hang
They're-
out with.
they
Hey,
are dope.
let's open the 7th bottle of wine. Yes.
They're not like that.
Damn it.
They're not like that.
That's
And
just
it's
Gia.
also it's not her. It's like her extended family.
Sure,
Like, we're going to
Grandma opened the
their
7
place
bottle.
in,
I miss that though, because somewhere along the line,
So,
the Scarpino
Sausalito.
family, we used to have gigantic events where, like, because my dad's got, he's got a lot of siblings.
Sure.
But they never had kids.
Oh.
And then it sort of slowly just became like smaller and smaller and
Smaller,
smaller
yeah.
until it was just our nuclear family, and that's fine. And we invite some friends and stuff like that to like Christmas Eve. So like my buddy Stu and his family comes over, his wife, and
Really
so
cool vids.
we're able to kind of have that bigger thing. But I miss the times sometimes where we used to go to my Uncle Vince's house, and he would be like,
What's wrong, Joe?
Did you yell for me or no?
Oh, I said Stu. Really cool vids.
so no, he did not. But thanks, Joe. But I miss those times where you'd have to put out the extra tables.
Oh, dude, I mean, when we were a nuclear family, yeah, like we had the folding tables they throw the wrestlers through. Like we had those
Love
things and
'em.
took over the basement and like moved things in. You know, what I mean, there was like
Oh,
we
yeah.
had like 20, 30 people down
Oh
there.
yeah. That was always so. I think that that might be starting to happen again. I think that there's like some grumblings of doing something bigger, or having people over for dinner, things like that. But I also just feel so disconnected from that because I live in San Francisco and the rest of my family's in SoCal.
Oh, sure, yeah, me
So
too.
it's like
Yeah. I see photos of my dad at like, it's Brooks going to college party, and I look
Yeah.
around, I'm like, that's weird that like that's a normal thing for you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, the family's getting together. I'm like, that's fucking bizarre.
It's weird, but and I kind of miss it, but I also kind of like I just don't have the brain capacity to
Sure,
really kind of like spearhead that, and that's become my brother now. My brother's kind of the one who's like, I'm gonna pull a bunch of people together. I've got the house, I've got the big table, we can all do this, and so I'm fortunate in that regard. But if it were left up to me, I'd be like, everyone's getting Starbucks cards. I'll see you later. That's pretty much all we're doing.
Hey, that's a pretty good holiday right
The
there.
Thanksgiving for me is always Kurt's birthday. Like it's the
right.
weekend where it's like we all get together and just play games and stuff. I hate how close we are to
Yeah,
Smash.
it's rough, right?
And it's just
Can't do
it's
it.
just not gonna happen. Like we're not gonna have it by then.
I went to a mic the other day where the guy sets up a GameCube and we played Melee, and I'd never played Melee before. And I was like,
a lot.
all the controllers were broken as fuck. So I was like,
Yeah.
I can't tell if this game sucks or if the controllers just aren't working.
Yeah.
But it was
Melee's very
interesting.
different.
It was
for you
very
if
different.
You've only played Brawl.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster and not as clingy to the like. You need to be better at Melee than you do in any of the
Yes,
other games.
I agree.
But,
I think I still won.
So yeah, Saturday is Kern's birthday, so I'm looking forward to that. But Saturday is also Gia's 10-year high school reunion.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun too.
That's so fun.
That's gonna be a fun thing.
Wow,
You
10
have
years
some
for
more
Gia.
fun. Have
You know
some
what,
fun.
man? It's not
More
my
drinks.
problem.
You get to walk in like you think about this too. She's like, this is my boyfriend. All right, 30 Under 30.
They're all well aware. It's
Tim, but
they went to school of the arts.
Fuck them.
It's like they look at me as the biggest shill in the goddamn world.
No,
Like, he runs a
man.
YouTube channel, and I'm like, yeah, I do.
Anyone
Fuck, I'm used to it.
anyone worth their salt who is an artist should look up to you, because you running a YouTube channel, it should be like, that should be a goal for a lot of
Godfrey can't
people.
even figure it out. You know what I mean?
He doesn't
true.
need- he doesn't need
It's
to,
true.
but
No, I do.
But no, I mean, I was
like
literally, that
some
was
of
this
our
thing I
high
was
school
talking to my
friends.
other friend Mark, who, like, it's all relative,
Mark
right?
Summers.
No, that'd be amazing if I was friends with Mark Summers. No, my buddy Mark Smalls, who's really, really fucking great comic, but he was like, yeah, you know, like in a perfect world, I'd love to be. I'm like, what's your perfect life look like? He's like, well, I'd love to be gigging at night and streaming in the morning. And he's like, he's a big gamer. I didn't even notice about him. He's like, I want to be a Twitch streamer and all this stuff, but it's hard. It's hard to get that going. And I'm like, oh, I know. I understand it. But what I love about Tim, though, is like, we're so alike in so many different ways, where you're just a man who knows what he likes. And if he doesn't like the other thing, he's not going to do it. Right. And I respect that
Or I'll
so
do it,
much in you.
and I'm just gonna let you know I don't. Like, I'm
You
here.
don't like it, right?
Hey,
It's there. How
fine.
many times have you heard me? You were like, Nick, you should totally do this thing, and I'm just like,
No.
no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to say. You just get to a certain point where, like, you got to try to find ways to enjoy small things here and there and broaden your horizons. But you're a fucking adult now.
Yeah.
You could just be like, I'm just going to sit on
I
my
am.
couch sometimes. I'm 30 under 30.
I am.
That should buy you some currency
Something.
with your girlfriend.
Yeah, I had to promise her. I was like, all right, for the rest of our lives, I'll give you a Thanksgiving dinner. Like, that's something that I have to do. I'll go wherever you want me to go.
What is she giving you?
Literally everything else. in my
Okay,
life.
cool.
I don't know.
Companionship. Yeah. Camaraderie.
No, but I'm like
Unconditional love.
that is something where it's
She
like I'm
touches
not
him
allowed,
when and if he wants to be touched.
not allowed to argue about it for the rest of my life, which is fun. But that also means that like I get to decide my side of the Thanksgiving thing, which is I ain't doing shit. I put my foot down this year, motherfuckers. I'm not gonna name any names,
James
but they're
Bond.
like, oh, we're doing a Thanksgiving thing. I'm like,
No, it's
I'm
Kevin.
not.
Kevin.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry. And don't deal
I
with
mean,
that shit.
I'm right there with you, man. Like, that's honestly, it's a hard conversation to have with your family.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had so many instances where I've had to like just be like, I don't want to do that, and we do this. We do these things because tradition, but they sometimes
Then
don't.
you're
end up-
miserable, you act
everyone's
miserable, you get in a
miserable.
fight.
Like, why are we doing this? I just don't want to do it.
Dude, families are the worst, absolute worst. Unless you like them, unless you're cool with them, and like there's family members that you love. I love Cool Greg. I fucking love Cool Greg.
the best.
He doesn't need to be.
He's the best of us.
Like it doesn't need to be this thing where it's just
He's the
like,
Harvey
oh,
Dent.
let's do this family dinner thing. No, just like, and I enjoy going to dinner with him whenever I go to dinner with him. That's just. I celebrate year round with Cool Greg. You know what I mean?
Cool Greg giving.
But it's
Saying
like
shit.
a perfect example, and again, not going to name any names.
Thanks, Greggy.
But let's just say my mom's involved, talking to other family members and that may or may not actually be related to me, and they're like, "Oh, cool, Tim got 30 under 30, but wait, I thought he graduated college, huh? It says he dropped out of San Francisco State." And my mom calls me frantically, "I thought you graduated." I'm like, "Why would you think that I graduated? You've heard this story a million times."
You didn't go to my graduation. Remember how I didn't walk?
And I was just like, what the fuck? And she's like, well, I told a lot of people you did. I'm like, well, why did you do that? Like, this is such a stupid thing. And I was like,
We'll call him all
and I
back
was like,
and tell him I got 30 under 30.
I was like, let's stop now and realize you are now talking to me that someone is gossiping, calling you, talking to you about he didn't graduate in reference to a 30 under 30 Forbes thing.
Yeah, they read that in
Fuck
Forbes
them.
magazine.
Fuck them.
I'm in Forbes magazine.
I haven't talked to them in 15 years.
Yeah, fuck
I don't
those
want to
people.
ever talk to
Fuck
them
those
again.
people.
I don't care about
That's
them.
annoying.
I don't want to see them in Thanksgiving.
What kind
out
of
that person
What
that
kind of
smashed her-
fucking monster would on your special day give you shit for not graduating college?
Great question.
Great question.
I mean, just
Or
something else.
get
Such
the
garbage.
title of 30 for 30 wrong. You know, like
Yeah.
what kind of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of friend would do that to you?
Yeah. That's true.
That's a great point.
It's
Nobody,
fucking
no,
true.
I mean, that shouldn't do. I mean, if it really bothers you, maybe you should have graduated, not been a dropout. But you know what? I digress. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy
slap
show.
him.
Each and every week.
It doesn't bother me, dude.
I know it doesn't bother
me
you.
at all. I'm so proud of it.
I'm trying not to sneeze.
Oh.
Sorry. But no, you know,
I thought you were giving me the face
like
of like
beauty school dropout. You know, remember Grease. Joey, I made a Grease reference. Just Grease one.
Joey
now.
doesn't like Grease though. She likes Grease
If
too.
you didn't know, we put the show up each and every
She's a
week.
filthy monster.
You can get it early. We gather around the table. It's fun. Patreon.com/kindafunny if you want it super early. For $1, you can get the pre and post show. For a few more bucks, you can get the MP3. You can get the video. The video has the pre and post show as well. If you don't want to give us any money, I understand. Go to youtube.com/kindafunny. You can get the show day by day, topic by topic. It's not true anymore. I just like saying it because I haven't said it in a long time.
Well, maybe you used to get topic by topic, but it's just in
Just on the Friday. Just on the Friday. A Friday after it went up for everybody else on Patreon.
In the same episode.
It's also up as a MP3.
Yeah.
This is all over the place, but you understand. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy show, everybody. Click up here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on Watto to go to our Patreon. Click over here to check out Kinda Funny Games. That's right, we have another channel where we talk about video games. And click down here for whatever Cool Greg puts in the fun hole.